coming to the green flag. Jesse Turner on pole position. 3 rounds left in the 2017 DuPont Woods Racing season. And we are underway here in South Carolina at the Darlington Raceway. Turner, your pole sitter, alongside the points here, Sean Galligan. He clears Galligan into turn 1. And immediately here comes his teammate Michael Cavanero to make an attempt for the lead into turn 3 and 4 with Gene Sanford and Vincent Allen following behind. And at the end of lap number 1, it's going to be a Red Bull drag race to lead the first lap. It's Michael Cavanero in the A3 who comes into Turner, hits the side of him, and knocks him out of the groove, and that's going to cost Turner several positions. Your points leader is getting shuffled all the way back as nobody's letting the 44 through. Sean Galligan with a 178-point lead over Sean Angel, which is equivalent to 1.5 full rounds. So Galligan definitely has a large points lead to play with. And right now, however, he is now looking very good in these opening laps. Cavanero continues to lead, but here's the 3-car battle for second place. As Vincent Allen slides up, gets into the back of the 24, and gets Sanford all squirreled up. Vincent Allen, who last year finished 1st and 2nd at this racetrack, almost pulled off the first ever sweep, but was 1 position short to Stephen Paul III. And now Allen looking to make the pass on Sanford. He does. He goes to 2nd place with Elijah Bree following. Jabri now makes the move for 2nd place as Allen has to back off to not hit the wall off of turn number 2. And here comes Allen's teammate Petrov to squeeze in for 3rd. Sean Angel currently sits 2nd in the points. He is the one who is 178 points behind Sean Galligan, his teammate. Angel currently sitting in 18th, trying to find a way through this pack. I mean, this is a very boggled mess of cars. You can see Galligan behind. He has gotten back to 19th place. He finally was able to get in line. But this pack is really slowing Angel's momentum down as now Galligan is catching. Sean Angel finally got to the pack, dispersed, and Galligan, who peeked out to the left, and Sean Angel throws a massive blocker, a massive cutoff in front of him to get past Charles Sanford. Angel racing like this is the championship race itself. He did not let Galligan go through that easily, and now he wants to try and pull away from him. Elijah Bree, he gets a big run on the A3 of Michael Cavanero, and Jabri pulls out left. He's going to make an attempt for the lead. Maybe gets into his quarter panel, and Jabri, the Moroccan driver, passes through and takes the lead here at the Darlington Raceway. Trouble for Stephen Paul III, who was running at 7th place. And we believe a tire is going down the 81 car, the left front. And Pollard's going to have to bring this to pit road early, and that's going to put him off cycle if this race stays green. Jabri made a big mistake in the entrance of turn 1, and that's allowed Vincent Allen to get a humongous run on the 74 for the lead for another lead change. And Allen is going to go past the 74 and head himself into the lead. Green flag pit stops, the first of the day, the first of 2 needed for this race, as Allen, Turner, and several others come to pit road. Everybody else comes to pit lane, but Cody Lamas in the 48, he's going to elect to stay out an extra lap or 2. This is quite a gamble, as He is running roughly 3 seconds slower than what he was early on in the race due to the intense tire wear. Elijah Bree's team gave him a fantastic pit stop, as look at the gap from first to second place. Vincent Allen, who is probably shocked that he is roughly 3 seconds behind the 74 as the rest of the field comes off pit lane. However, that lead would not last, as the series would have to throw the caution for oil leaking from a car as the track was starting to get a little slippery. So now Chabris' 4.5 second lead is going to go away. And now things are going to get a little complicated, as we are only a couple of laps after finishing the last pit stops, but other cars are going to come back in and probably put more tires on. And a couple of cars, you can see several of them are staying out. We are being told that the oil which caused the caution came from the 90 of Veronika Novakovsky, Elijah Bree's teammate. So Chabris' 4.5 second lead goes away due to the misfortunes of his Patriots Trophy teammate. 15 cars stayed out under this last caution, and Vladimir Petrov leads here in Darlington. You can see back there Anthony Lopez, the 0-2 in front of Michael Cavanero. That is the gap from pits to non-pits. That didn't sound very right, but Petrov comes off turn 2. Jesse Turner looking to make a move immediately into turn 3, but backs off. Turner knew he couldn't stick that move. And now Petrov in the lead, and we'll see how long this lasts for him. However, this time Turner is going to make the same move, but maybe a little bit in a smarter way, and Turner is going to try to pass the 09 of Petrov. And he's got help from Gene Sanford, who is shoving him down the straightaway here, and Turner comes up into Petrov, shoves him out of line, and that will knock Petrov down several positions, as now Gene Sanford in the 24. She wants to try and capitalize on the lead herself, and Sean Angel now up to third. Staying out gave him some excellent track position. And now Sanford makes the pass on the 82. As Sanford takes the lead. And this is the lead she's going to need. Gene Sanford in the top 5 in points. Just like Sean Angel needs to have some great races here to make up that gigantic points gap that Sean Galligan has accumulated. Chris Louvier got black flag for speeding on pit road, so he had to come down and do his drive-through penalty, which has put him 1 lap down. So tuck break for Chris Louvier is going to be very difficult to get that lap back without some caution flags coming out. It is a gigantic fracas in the mid-pack, as cars who pitted and did not pit are all going at it here, trying to find places to slip in, as Paul Thanos slips for 3 wide underneath Satsuki Yakashore, and then they go into the wall in front of the pack on the straightaway, and several cars pile in. Michael Block, Skavnicki, Young, Cittadino, Dutta, Novakovsky, Cavanero, and a couple of others as well. A huge wreck off of turn 4. Replay of this very big wreck here as we follow Paula Thanos. You can see Thanos trying to squeeze into 3 wide, but there was just not much room. And several cars with nowhere to go just come piling in. I think Young was able to avoid most of that, actually, in that 2 car. Gene Sanford is our leader as we pit under the caution flag. And we are just at the halfway point of this race, and the field is still going to have to pit at least one more time after this. Gene Sanford is still your leader, but now surrounded by lapped cars. Everybody on the bottom is one down, as is Deanna Shelton. She is one down as well, trying to get her lap back. The green flag comes in the air, and you can see on the bottom line, those damaged cars immediately not getting going, and this could cause some problems. Shelton, who is trying to get back in the lead lap herself, as she has some problems on the pit road. And she is not going to be able to stay in front of her teammate very long, as Gene Sanford immediately goes past and finds open room and open air. Vladimir Petrov has been running some very fast laps, and he is going to take the lead and goes by Gene Sanford to get that position, and the 09 moves ahead. Petrov had a great restart and has been climbed his way through the top 5 pretty much, and now he has the lead. We'll see if he can pull together a gap here. Chris Dodd and Charles Sanford both stayed out on that second to last caution, and that gave them the track position for this run, as they now run 6th and 7th place. Dodd and Sanford have been the two main protagonists for the Patriots Trophy Championship so far in these final couple of rounds, and they are both having a really great run tonight, especially Dodd for that team. They have done a fantastic job. Turner has just gone by Gene Sanford, but Sanford is not going to let Turner go without a fight as he gets into the back of him and into the back of him again, and almost hooks Turner into the wall. And now Sean Angel in 4th place. He wants to see if he can get himself involved in this fight, as they are coming up on the lap traffic of Michael Block. Petrov gets held up from Block, and that allows Jesse Turner to take the lead, as now Block to the outside line. Turner going to try to capitalize, and he's going to clear for the lead completely, and Sean Angel will follow through with him, as does Kasten Rosengard, who now comes up to 3rd place. Petrov falls from 1st to 7th place because of that. And now Cody Lamas, the 8th place car, he has now reached this pack as their troubles have allowed him to re-catch the front of this field. And Petrov immediately going to work here to get those positions back, as he easily disposes of Charles Sanford, and now looks to easily dispose of Chris Dodd. And Cody Lamas, that opens the door for him. He's going to follow through. Sean Galligan, your point sitter, in 9th place. Sean Angel, 2nd in points, is at the top 3 of the field, but Galligan right now still going to potentially grab some decent points if he can maintain his position. It is quite a gap from 8th to himself. And here comes William Duncan, another championship contender. Knows he needs to start finishing in front of Galligan after a really rough past couple of rounds for this 87 team. And Duncan is going to go past the 44. Elijah Bree, who had that 4.5 second lead until a couple of cautions ago, he runs in 29th. The 74 car has really dropped off as the race has gone by. Just over 10 to go, and Sean Angel is going to kick off the final round of pit stops in the 45 car. I think Angel might be going for an undercut here. Pit early, get those tires warmed up, and start throwing together some hot laps. Joshua Collard also under pit lane, as William Duncan in the 87 blows up on the straightaway. William Duncan in trouble. But will that bring the caution out? William Duncan, who had just gotten past Sean Galligan. This is definitely not what the 87 team needed. This is going to absolutely really put a damper on their championship chances here. Jesse Turner comes to pit road. Cody Lamas stays out an extra lap here. It looks like Duncan is going to make it back around the track to pit lane, so I don't think they're going to have to throw the caution. Although I think Lamas is staying out just in case he doesn't make it and they do throw that yellow flag, which is probably a pretty smart idea. And now Cody Lamas will come to pit road. He saw Duncan still rolling, so he's going to come to pit road and pit. He doesn't want to risk losing too much time to the leaders here. Jesse Turner was your legal to start the cycle. We'll see where he ends up here. Sean Angel flies right by him. Sean Angel just flew right by the 82 of Jesse Turner. And with less than 10 to go, Angel pitting early might have been the best strategy here, as he just moves ahead. Turner, Petrov, several others who were in the top 5. They just got blown away by the 45 car. However, Sean Angel will not get the lead just yet. Cody Lamas takes 2 tires in the 48 car. This is a gamble right here. Lamas is going to run 2.5 seconds slower than Angel, and just look how quick Angel's going to catch him here. I'm not quite sure that was a good call. If that was a call to try and get the win, I don't think it was a smart one. But if it's for track position, maybe it'll work, but Angel, he's going to eat him up. Sean Angel catches Cody Lamas, but he is having trouble going by him, as here comes Jesse Turner in 3rd place, possibly looking for the lead here in a moment, as Angel continuing to try and go past Lamas, but Lamas throws a huge block and almost wrecked himself and Angel, and here comes Turner. Lamas tries to cut in front of Angel, but Angel not going to wait any longer. He's going to retake the lead. Angel now in front of Turner with a couple of laps to go. 3 laps to go here. Angel trying to hold off Jesse Turner. Turner has been fast for the past couple of laps as the caution comes out. This is going to be the end of the race. We have a smoke. Someone spun on the back straightaway. We believe it was the 96 of Bobby Jones, but this is the race to the end here, as Turner now, realizing the situation, tries to get to the 45, coming to the yellow flag to take 2 to go. Sean Angel has the lead and holds Turner off, and that should be the end of the race. Angel will most likely win under caution flag here. Bobby Jones got spun, we're being told, and that will be the end of this A-main. It is confirmed. This will be the end of the race as we see what happens here. Vitsinal gets into the 96 and hooks Jones, and he takes a very hard lick into the inside wall. Coming to take the checker flag, Sean Angel is going to be en route to his 4th victory of the 2017 season. He takes the checker flag, and Jesse Turner, who has to be immensely frustrated as that caution came out at a really bad time for him. Cody Lamas crosses 3rd after only taking 2 tires, so he will get a solid points day despite the very on-ball strategy. Time for the B main. Steven Paul III, who was the first car to retire in the A main. He's on pole in the B main. He starts alongside Cittadino, who doesn't get a great start, but Anthony Lopez from third. He looks to get second place. Pollard had been running in 7th place before he had his tire problem. Now, his problem wasn't exactly fatal to his car, but decided to park the car. I imagine they decided to just make that call so that they could get pole position here, which is, for Pollard, who is out of the championship contention, it's pretty much a very valid strategy if you're trying to go for a win this year at this point. A lot of the guys you're going to see here up at the front for the time being are cars who got involved in that large melee at the halfway point of the A main, which involved over 10 cars. Block, Shelton, and several others. As Steven Paul III leads these opening laps. We were going to talk about this in the A main, but Pollard parked his car so early. One of the big announcements this week, coming into this week, was that Steven Paul III is not going to be re-signed for the 2018 season with Texanati Motorsports. Pollard, who had been running for this team for the past couple of seasons, even before the DuPont World Series of Racing, he had been running for this team while that team was still a DuPont Cup Series team. But Pollard has not amassed too many wins since his 6-win season at the end of the DuPont Cup Series. And Pollard, who has been in the bottom 5 in championship points this year, I mean, it has been pretty much a down year for Texanati overall, but I think Texanati wants more results from their drivers despite that, and they're going to let Pollard go. We're not quite sure where Pollard will be for 2018, but right now he is definitely giving himself a rub here by leading these laps, and we'll see how long he can lead them. Michael Block, though, looking for second place on John Cittadino, who I think he hit the back of to make that pass, or at least attempt to make this pass. Elijah Bree working his way through these cars. Jabri was at one point leading the A main with a very large gap, but unfortunately a mistimed caution and wasn't probably not the best strategy call, as he and several cars came to pit road. However, Jabri, they made some changes to their setup, we're being told, which caused the 74 to really drop off in pace, but apparently they have rectified those changes, as now Jabri is the fastest car on the racetrack at the moment. Pollard and Block have really pulled away from the majority of the field at the moment. I'll tell you what though, Pollard, despite the news of him being released, he has had a very solid weekend until he had that problem in the A-main. Like I said, he was running top 10, and he's running first place right now, and Block isn't exactly catching him at a lightning pace. And don't forget, Pollard was the one who actually won this B-main at this very racetrack last year. And he held off Vincent Allen to pull that off, which was a very impressive feat. And looks like today he wants to do the same. Paula Thanos was heavily criticized after what happened in the A-main when she made it 3 wide in turns 3 and 4, and was a big factor in causing that melee that happened and that took a lot of cars out. Right now Thanos running in 13th, trying to get a good run here, although her teammate William Duncan, whose engine unfortunately blew up late into the A-main, he is trying to redeem himself as well and make up those lost points to Sean Galligan and Sean Angel. Pit stops begin as Steven Paul III with Michael Block comes to pit road to kick off the first green flag pit cycle of the night. After the pit cycle, Pollard retains the lead. However, Michael Block now on his back bumper, and Elijah Bree, who was 4th place at the start of the pit cycle, he's up to 3rd, and he is right behind these two. We'll see how long Pollard can hold off Michael Block, but Block immediately makes a move to the bottom line to make a pass here for the lead, and Block for the first time tonight takes the lead here at Darlington, and Elijah Bree now looking to get to 2nd place as Pollard shuffled to the outside line. Pollard tries to come down in front of Chabris, but Chabris keeps his nose there. Pollard, though, fighting Chabris for the position, but eventually just lets him go. Sean Angel has not been able to really make too much progress so far in this race. He started dead last due to being the A-main winner, and he is only up to 32nd, now looking for 31st as he gets into the back of Lopez and almost dumps him into the wall. Lopez started 3rd, he's all the way back in 31st already. Angel, though, so far doesn't look like he's going to do what Vincent Allen was able to do last year and climb his way up to a possible winning position. But Angel right now, he is looking a bit spiffier. Elijah Bree in the 74 now. He is making a move towards Michael Block for the lead. And Chabris is going to make contact with the left rear of the 29, but goes by regardless. Chabris takes the lead here in Darlington, and we will see how long he can hold this lead. We know the 74 car, when the setup's right, it is a very fast piece of equipment. That is what we have learned so far this weekend. We'll see how long he can hang on to this. We are halfway through this B main, and so far we have been caution-free. Chabris still your leader, Michael Block 2nd, Pollard in 3rd. Chabris has not been able to pull away from these two. But these three have so far been the best cars on the racetrack. Dana Shelton in 4th place, a little bit behind them, actually slowly catching them. And John Sandino in 5th place. Trouble for Paula Thanos in the 98 car. She is coming to a very slow stop here. And Thanos, who was running in 20th, doesn't look like she has a tire problem. I think this might be an internal problem within the car, and I don't think she's going to make it to pit lane. But will they throw the caution? They do throw the yellow flag. Caution comes out. Thanos could not make it. Just past the halfway point. Well, for the 2nd straight time this weekend, Elijah Bree is going to have his lead gap closed because of the misfortunes of his own teammates. I don't think Chabris right now is too thrilled with his team at the moment. First, Novakovsky dropped oil, which brought out the caution in the A-main while he had a 4-second lead. And now Thanos, who has had a fuel pickup issue, we're being told, she brings out the caution, and that will bring the field back together. I can't imagine how Chabris feeling. Probably not very happy. Elijah Bree does keep the lead. However, he will start alongside his teammate, and Thanos, who I imagine is going to want to get that lap back here. As the green flag comes back out, we are still going to have to pit at least one more time, and Thanos immediately sets to battle with her teammate, and Thanos goes by and wants that lap back here. And Chabris, he will lose the lead because here comes Stephen Paul, the 3rd on the bottom line. He's going to retake the lead from the 74. This is quite hectic. Chabris gets back to the bottom. Now needs to get that lead back as Thanos gets shuffled to the outside. Pollard, who led the first 30 laps of this race, he wants to see if he can lead the next 30 all the way to the checkered flag. Chabris now gets into the back bumper of the 81 off of turn 2, and that was close. Pollard very aggressively trying to hold off Chabris, and Chabris was trying to very aggressively get past Pollard. They need to be careful here because here comes Citadino and DJ Curtis in the 19. Where did he come from? He's up to 3rd. Chabris now gets below the 81, who gets loose off of in the middle of turns 1 and 2. But look at this, DJ Curtis with a head of momentum. He's going to get to the bottom line underneath the 81, and he's bringing Sofia Vargas in the 84 with him. DJ Curtis all over the back bumper of Elijah Bree here. Curtis has been flying since the drop of the green flag on that last restart, and he is going to take the lead from Elijah Bree. DJ Curtis, who is still winless in 2017. This could be his best opportunity to potentially end that statistic. But Chabris, he's not going to give this up too easily. Chabris got moved by Pollard, and now he is getting shuffled bad. He has fallen all the way out of the top 5, and he's about to fall out of the top 10. Chabris, who has to just be so frustrated. He has done pretty much nothing wrong himself. It has just been so much misfortune his way this weekend. He had some misfortune in Nashville too, while having some great runs as well. This 74 team cannot catch a break. DJ Curtis continues to lead as we have roughly 30 laps to go. However, Curtis is going to have to hold off Sofia Vargas, who is also winless in 2017. And she gets a great run off of turn 4. That was incredible there. She gripted well, and Curtis tries to cut in front of her, but Vargas did not let off, and she hit him. Here comes William Duncan now for 2nd place. Duncan has been running just outside the top 10 for most of tonight, but he has now shown up. William Duncan got by DJ Curtis for 2nd, and now Duncan looking for the lead. Duncan pulls out to the left into turn 3, and he is going to make the pass as Duncan now finds himself in the lead for the first time this weekend. And perhaps it's a sense of urgency as Sean Galligan has gone to 9th place. Duncan, I think he knows he needs to win this race, especially all things considered after what happened in the A-Main. He knows he needs to get a good run here to at least bottom out with what he's lost. With 15 laps to go, William Duncan is going to come to pit road and top off on the fuel he needs and take some tires for what will be this final dash to the finish. Duncan and the rest of the top 3 all pit. Everybody else stays out. Pollard now, who took the lead. He's going to come to pit road and top off himself, as does Elijah Bree, who managed to fight back up to 5th place. DJ Curtis, he will beat William Duncan off of pit road to retake the lead. William Duncan, not a good stop from him, as now Curtis will get back in front of him, and if Curtis gets back in front of Pollard and the cars behind, Curtis should be your leader. Everybody coming up pit road, and Curtis, he is going to fly by everybody, and he does take the lead. DJ Curtis in the lead as we're coming to 10 laps to go. And he has a pretty solid gap over William Duncan and Sofia Vargas. If he can just hang on. Sean Angel was never able to crack the top 20, but the car who finished second to him in the A-main, Jesse Turner, has reached 6th place and has steadily charged his way through the field. Turner now trying to see if he can crack the top 5. Joshua Collard and Chabris are just right in front of him as we head into these final couple of laps. Trouble for Paula Thanos in the 98 car, and she is coming to a stop yet again as the 98 car had another fuel pickup problem. Thanos, this is exactly what happened to her last time. Almost frame for frame shot, frame by frame shot, and the caution comes out again for it. Thanos again brings out the caution for a fuel pickup problem. Oh, we got more problems. Louviere's around in turn 1 into Jonathan Skavnicki. James Shelley with nowhere to go. Oh, somebody hit the back. It was an S3 car. Travel into the back as well. And whoa, Cavanero around in the 7 car. More cars around as Alan Cavanero is still around as Vincent Allen gets ran to the back of and into the 7. And Sean Angel, the A-main winner, he is stuck on the banking in the 45 car. Whoa, their leaders back there. That's Curtis and Duncan. They're trying not to get involved in this. More trouble. Elijah Bree, who is in the top 5. He rams into the back of the 45, who was stuck on the banking. And Chabris now, he's going to have to park that car. He's heavily damaged and he is done. A massive multi-part wreck as Louviere gets into the back of the 24 of Chris Dodd. That sends Fitzwater off the track, and it sends Louviere, Shelley, and Skavnicki hard into the wall. And then it only got worse from here as Alan Cavanero, who was trying to avoid Gene Sanford, who was blowing up on the racetrack, he gets ran into by several cars. Sean Angel gets stuck on the banking, and everybody comes piling in. And then it only gets worse as Elijah Bree, not looking where he's going, just clobbers the 45. And that blows up his car. And Angel, that actually helped him get off the banking, but Chabris paid the price. The red flag has come out as the track officials are currently clearing the track as we have 5 laps to go. As the series is red flagging it to try and see if we can get a green flag finish here. DJ Curtis is your leader, William Duncan 2nd, Vargas 3rd, Deanna Shelton 4th, and your points leader Sean Galligan in 5th. As we patiently wait for the yellow flag to come back out. After a 45-minute red flag, we have time for a 2-lap dash, a green-white checker. DJ Curtis takes us to the green flag with 2 laps to go. Curtis gets a really good start, as does Sofia Vargas, and Duncan doesn't get the best of starts, but he's a couple of car lengths behind the 19. But he gets a great run off of turn 2. Through 3 and 4 to take the white flag. Duncan with a head of momentum right behind the 19. White flag comes out here in Darlington for the final lap of the weekend. Duncan trying to find a way past the 19. Curtis gets a great run off of 2. Duncan tried to peak but couldn't get the momentum. And through 3 and 4, Curtis is going to hang on here as Duncan cannot get by. And coming off turn 4 to take the checker flag, DJ Curtis finally scores his first win of the 2017 season and holds off William Duncan and Sofia Vargas.